dealing with the aftermath of a massive fire.
There are certain buildings throughout the community that are target hazards for us, which we have our eye on as far as the danger level of fighting a fire in them. This was definitely one of them.
We have live team coverage from the scene on Decatur's northwest side.
Plus, teaching kids the importance of safety with electricity. Go inside a classroom learning the do's and don'ts.
And the deflated football scandal continues for the Super Bowl-bound Patriots. The latest on the investigation tonight.
Clouds continue to stick around here in central Illinois, but some sunshine is on the horizon. I'll let you know when we'll finally get a peek at the sun and how warm temps will get. Central Illinois' best source for news and weather starts now.
Illinois' best source for news and weather. WAND News at 5.
It's the largest fire in the city of Decatur in quite some time.
Yeah, we were the first to bring you breaking news of that massive fire, warehouse fire on the city's northeast side yesterday at 5.
Well, tonight, WAND's Marianne Manko live at the fire scene again. Marianne, what's the scene like now?
Well, you know, as you can see, this nearly century-old building is already coming down. What the fire didn't destroy, the city has now got a crew out here for safety reasons. And this building had been the home to, over the decades, to many different companies. It was once Ferry Manufacturing, it was Aramark not too long ago, and then most recently Action Equipment, where they stored restaurant equipment and repaired restaurant equipment. Joining me now is Doug Wolf. Doug, this is a pretty old building. I'm sure it's got to be a real challenge finding a cause.
Oh, absolutely. The investigation's underway to determine the cause. The thing is, Marianne, quite realistically, they may never determine the cause of this particular fire. This warehouse dates all the way back to the early 20th century. It stood for decades, came down just a matter of hours. The flames were so intense, the fire burned so fast, firemen did not risk trying to go inside. 7 to 8 engines, along with 5 aerial trucks, were used to fight this fire. Fire Chief Jeff Abbott tells me those old buildings create a lot of problems when they burn.
There are certain buildings throughout the community that are target hazards for us, which we have our eye on as far as the danger level of fighting a fire in them. This was definitely one of them. It's so old and so cut up, it's extremely dangerous. So unless it's a very small fire from the get-go, they're not worth putting people's lives in jeopardy to go in these. But I think we had 50 to 60 Decatur firefighters. Hickory Point was brought in a ladder truck. We exhausted all the city's resources, including our reserve apparatus.
Fortunately, no serious injuries, although one fireman did get treated for what appears to be a rotator cuff injury. Firemen were on the scene most of the day today, pouring water on hot spots. They're still doing that this moment to prevent what's left of the structure from reigniting. Now, Marianne, the big problem too, traffic. You're not going to get down Grand Avenue, don't even try. It's blocked off from Jasper all the way down a couple blocks. So again, just stay away from this area.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why they got a demolition crew out here so quickly for safety reasons to be able to open up those roads. Some more details now. As we told you, this warehouse building on East Grand in Illinois, nearly a century old. During the Great Depression, it did house Ferry's Factory, a name that people here in Decatur know very well. Recently, it was a storage repair for kitchen equipment out here, and they're still looking for hot spots. There was so much stuff inside here that there's still so much smoldering. It's another reason why they're digging around right now so that they can put this out once and for all. Tonight at 10, we're going to have a little bit more about the demolition process and what this could mean for taxpayers. Live in Decatur, Marianne Manko and Doug Wolf, WAND News.
Another fire last night, this time at a home that's now a total loss in Harristown in northwestern Macon County. Fire crews were called to this home in the 17200 block of West William Street around 7:30 last night. They found the small home on fire. It took about a half an hour to get the flames under control and another 2 hours to put out hot spots. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Now, first weather from Storm Center 17, home of the exclusive O'Brien Auto Park Urbana Storm Runner.
We were hoping to see a little bit of sunshine by the time the day wrapped up. Not the case. Inversion stayed in place, trapped the moisture in the low parts of the atmosphere, and unfortunately the clouds, they are still present out there. Polk Cadillac Buick GMC of Forsyth Tower Cam overlooking downtown Decatur on this gloomy Thursday evening. But the good news is, with the clouds in place, that is not allowing temperatures to drop off all that quickly. But we are starting to see a little bit of clearing right now across southern Wisconsin into northern Illinois. You can see some more clouds moving from south to north. Those are some higher clouds as the system is passing well to our south along the Gulf Coast. 34 right now in Decatur. It's 35 degrees in Springfield. We're at 34 in Mattoon and 36 in Effingham. A cloudy sky will continue throughout the rest of this evening, and eventually after midnight the sky becomes partly cloudy with temperatures dropping back into the upper 20s. We do have a clipper headed this way. I'll let you know when it shows up and what type of precipitation we can expect out of it in just a little bit.
The Clinton Nuclear Power Station is offline tonight after a suspected pipe or valve leak was detected yesterday morning. Exelon Energy says operators found elevated water levels in a containment sump and decided to take the power station offline. While it's down, operators will do maintenance work at the plant.
Students at Oak Grove Elementary School in Decatur learned some shocking things today thanks to Ameren, Illinois. WAND's Ed Cross shows you why safety and electricity had all these kids buzzing.
Yeah, it was kind of a cool experience, Don. More than 30,000 people are treated for electric and non-fatal shock injuries every year. But more importantly, on a daily basis, almost 7 children are treated for electrical shock or burn injuries. That's according to the Electrical Safety Foundation International. But through programs like Ameren's Kids Act on Energy, children are able to learn about the dangers of electricity and how they can stay safe. And hopefully, they're able to know what to do in a potentially dangerous situation.
If you see a power line down, don't play near it, don't be near it. Tell an adult, have them to call the power company or to call an emergency worker to make that line safe.
Young adds that teaching kids what to do during a storm when lightning is present is another big part of Ameren's program with the children. Now tonight at 6, students share what they learned and how they hope to help others. Don, back to you.
The superintendent at Ball Chatham School is stepping down from her position. The district announced yesterday Carrie Ruby accepted a position in the O'Fallon School District. She will finish the school year at Ball Chatham.
For the first time since the controversy over Deflategate began, today we're hearing from the Patriots head coach and quarterback who are at the center of the controversy. Jay Gray brings us more on the ongoing NFL investigation.
Speaking for the first time since the controversy began.
I have no explanation for what happened.
New England coach Bill Belichick says he found out about Deflategate just like the rest of us.
When I came in Monday morning, I was shocked to learn of the news reports about the footballs.
11 of 12 game day footballs reportedly underinflated by more than 15%, a rules violation which could have made them easier to throw, catch, and hang on to in the cold, rainy weather during the Patriots' AFC Championship win against the Indianapolis Colts.
I don't have an explanation.
For 11 minutes, Belichick stood in front of the cameras and said repeatedly,
I had no knowledge. I had no idea. I don't have an explanation for what happened. In my entire coaching career, I have never talked to any player, staff member about football air pressure.
Instead, he says, that's an issue for a guy who throws it. Quarterback Tom Brady, who is addressing the situation publicly this afternoon, while his teammates try to keep their focus on their next game, the Super Bowl.
This is the biggest game of the year, and we're very excited, and we're trying to get ready to win this game.
While the NFL continues to investigate what they did or did not do to win their last one. Jay Gray, WAND News.
And as promised, Patriots quarterback Tom Brady addressed the media this afternoon. Sports director Matt Lovelace with me now with what you took from the Brady press conference.
Yeah, Sean, Brady, he came out and started by saying he'd rather talk about the Seahawks and the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I bet he would. He did, however, talk about this issue. He denied any tampering or any involvement in the deflation of those 11 out of 12 footballs. He talked about how he goes about selecting the balls he's going to use in a game. He said once he picks his dozen out, he considers them perfect, and he doesn't want them altered in any way. He also said he's confident no one in the organization had anything to do with deflating those footballs.
Main thing over the last couple of days, it's trying to figure out, what happened. Like I said, I was as surprised as anybody when I heard Monday morning what was happening.
The NFL investigation is ongoing, but it has already found that the balls were underinflated. The question now is, what punishment, if any, will be handed down? Obviously, we're all wondering that before the Super Bowl. Spygate incident resulted in $750,000 in fines and the loss of a draft pick.
Remember that. So hopefully this doesn't deflate hopes for the Super Bowl.
I really don't want it to distract from the game. I imagine afterwards we'll hear a little bit more about it, too.
Yeah, and they'll have a little scale out there before kickoff.
Yeah, exactly.
For the footballs. All right,
more ball boys.
There you go. Thanks, Matt.
Researchers giving some family dogs a new leash on life, helping paralyzed pups walk again. Plus, a misprint that made national news turned into a huge donation to help rescue dogs. Next.
You can always connect with us. Follow us on Twitter at WANDTV News, on Facebook, WANDTV News Center 17, and on Pinterest, just click on the icon at WANDTV.com.
Illinois' best source for news and weather. WAND News at 5.
An Illinois newsstand now plans to sell the controversial French magazine Charlie Hebdo. That's the paper in Paris where offices were attacked by terrorists a few weeks ago. The Chicago, Maine newsstand in Evanston hopes to get copies of the magazine as early as tomorrow. Store's manager says he's received a lot of phone calls and inquiries from people interested in buying it. He is a little concerned. Selling the magazine could make the newsstand and his staff the target of a possible attack.
I'm trying to keep a positive attitude. Like I say, we have had no negative feedback on this so far, and there's something in the back of the mind, of course, that something possibly could happen, but I haven't seen any indication of anything so far.
Evanston police have stepped up their presence outside that newsstand just in case.
An unintentional tribute to dogs helped one sheriff's department give back to man's best friend. A rug sat at the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office for months before anyone noticed the mistake. The words should read "In God We Trust," but it actually says "In Dog We Trust." There was so much interest in the misprinted rug, the sheriff put it up for auction. It sold for nearly $10,000, which was donated to a local animal rescue.
Well, it turned out for the benefit of the dogs.
Yeah, exactly.
did.
It's hard to see though because it's you got the little carpet strands there here.
And it looks like I'm, by the way. I'm dog.
I'm dog we trust.
Oh well. Hey, you just stepped on it. Who would have noticed after all that time?
It's the rug I never looked down.
Right.
All right. Kind of a gloomy day out there.
It really was.
Cool.
I call it a bit glum.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It was a little damp in some time, and if you looked really close, you could see maybe just a couple little fine snowflakes at times.
I saw that.
I just hit the brakes in the car on the way out of the driveway. Wait a second, did I just see that?
Am I going to be in trouble?
Yeah, wait, did I blow this forecast too? We thought we'd see a little bit of sunshine, but it just never materialized. No. Highs across the area today stayed in the middle 30s, which is still pretty close to where we should be for this time of the year. 36 to 33 has been our range of temperatures. Can you believe it? Already the 22nd of January, but 36 right on the mark for this time of the year. Stick around. I'll let you know when a Clipper system arrives and what type of precipitation we can expect out of it after the break. Good evening, everybody. What's ahead for the rest of the night? Well, we're going to expect to see these clouds in place. They're going to be very, very stubborn. Eventually, it turns partly cloudy as we get past midnight tonight. Sunshine then returns tomorrow morning. Grab the shades as you're out there for work or school. We'll linger some sun into the day on Saturday, but Saturday, we'll expect a few more clouds to come drifting in. Then our attention turns to a Clipper on Sunday. Forecast models coming into better agreement with the track of the system because the track is kind of the key to this whole mess. Tracking a little bit farther to the northeast, that means warmer temperatures for us here at home and also more of a rain event than a snow event. We're not expecting any snow accumulation, but a couple of snowflakes could mix in, especially at the onset of the precipitation on Sunday morning. Our Sarah Bush Lincoln WeatherBug Network camera in downtown Decatur shows a quiet evening but cloudy evening in the Soy City. We'll put the time-lapse camera into motion showing that fog from early this morning. The fog was allowed to burn away, but we have an inversion in the middle part of the atmosphere right now, trapping the moisture toward the surface, and that equates to these clouds. And again, this evening the clouds have not gotten out of here. Same thing in Warrensburg at the Warrensburg-Latham Elementary and Middle School, showing lights coming on in Warrensburg. And there's that fog early this morning, and then that strato Q deck that just will not break apart continues this evening across that part of central Illinois. And one last stop at the Provena Covenant Medical Center camera overlooking the U of I campus, showing a cloudy evening in the CU. But watch the camera. There was a couple peaks of sunshine for just a little while today, enough to tease you in the Champaign area. Then the clouds came rolling right back in, and they'll stay with us. So why so cloudy today? We talk about this term inversion. Now, what typically happens here in the troposphere where we live at, the lowest part of the atmosphere, it's warmer at the surface and then it's cooler aloft. Sometimes, though, we can have this reverse or inverse itself, and you get a little area of warmer air aloft, a little cooler at the surface. It traps that moisture and equates to some clouds, and it's exactly what happened today. We've got a little inversion just right off the surface that traps that moisture, will not let it escape, but eventually it is going to erode out the clouds will as we head tonight into early tomorrow morning. No big push of cold Arctic air anywhere across the lower 48, 43 in Rapid City. It's 41 degrees in Dallas, 70 still in Orlando. A little bit cooler in the desert as they're seeing some rain showers across that part of the nation. Our temperatures at home tonight dropping off just a little bit. We're still in the low to mid 30s, 32 in Taylorville. It's 34 in Decatur and in Champaign and 33 in Danville. And with the clouds in place this evening, it's not going to allow our temperatures to drop off that quickly. And you can see higher clouds now starting to spill in as the system well to our south, providing some fairly heavy rains now across the Arkansas, Texas, and then heading back into portions of Mississippi, Alabama, and southern portions of Tennessee. But I want you to focus here across North Texas. Still a little bit of light snow, but very heavy snow last night in places like Amarillo. Over a foot of snow was reported there. High pressure is starting to work its way in our direction. Our Peerless Precision Cast settles it right over the top of us by early tomorrow morning. It's going to keep that system well to our south, so as we wake up on our Friday morning, we'll have a mix of sun and clouds. Then as the high starts to drift off to the east, becoming mostly sunny into the afternoon, then an upper level disturbance will come sliding in our direction Friday night into Saturday morning, bring us a couple of clouds. But look what happens just off to our east. Some heavy snows possible from New York City through Philly, also right on across the Appalachian Range into portions of West Virginia, eastern Kentucky, and into eastern Tennessee. That system finally pulls away and is out of there by the end of the weekend. Cloudy skies early this evening, turning partly cloudy after midnight down to 26. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds to start the day tomorrow, up to 40 for the high with plenty of sunshine. The sun goes to bed at 5:04. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by St. Mary's Hospital. Low 40s, partly sunny on Saturday. A mix of some rain and snow early Sunday. Change over to all rain by the afternoon. Mid 30s Monday into Tuesday.
A Decatur restaurant earns a prestigious award.
Tonight at 6, why state leaders were at Paco's Soul Bistro in downtown Decatur and what the award means when it comes to drawing people to downtown.
Plus, where students can see a free screening of the new movie Selma at 6.
Well, still ahead, helping paralyzed dogs learn to walk again.
The researchers who are making it happen, even putting a wag back in some dogs' tails. Next.
Welcome back. Doctors in North Carolina are improving the walking ability of several patients paralyzed by spinal cord injuries.
But these aren't your typical patients. They're covered in fur and they have 4 legs. Doctors at North Carolina State University are finding some success with 2 experimental drugs to get paralyzed pups back on their feet.
It wasn't a miraculous cure, but certainly they had quite a dramatic change in their abilities while they were on the drug that would disappear again when we discontinued the drug.
One of the drugs is called 4AP and is approved to treat people with multiple sclerosis. One dog in the study showed a surprising side effect, the ability to wag its tail happily when seeing its owners. Which is wonderful, isn't that? And it gives hope.
It really does.
Yeah.
Another look at the Storm Center 17 forecast straight ahead.
Clouds will stick with us through the rest of this evening, eventually becoming partly cloudy as we get past midnight. Temperatures will start to drop back into the upper 20s. Grab the shades for tomorrow. We're going to see a lot of sunshine, especially into the afternoon. 40 degrees the high on Friday, low 40s on Saturday, a mix of sun and clouds, and a chance for some showers on Sunday. We're not expecting a big event out of this, but a couple of showers could be possible. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with dry, with highs in the mid 30s Monday and Tuesday, back up in the low 40s by Thursday.
Okay, thanks, JC. Thanks so much for being here.
We'll see you back here tonight at 6.
Good night.